Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Hobart's 4 councils have united to lobby the state government for funding to expand the city's ferry network. Their move comes as one City of Hobart councillor calls for those on 2 wheels to be considered as part of a new transport plan.
For Sharon Heritage, there's nothing like a Vespa. Riding through Hobart, however, is far from a smooth journey.
There's only limited parking around town and some of it's a bit sketchy. The culture here is that they don't really notice us when they're changing lanes.
The council is preparing a submission for the Keep Hobart Moving Plan. The Deputy Lord Mayor wants those using 2 wheels represented, moving a motion at tonight's council meeting to include their views.
Reducing congestion, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, a real alternative, a cheaper alternative to getting around.
Important that council does what it can to encourage, two-wheeled and innovative transport solutions around the city.
Water options also on the agenda. Hobart's mayors want the state government to spend $26 million on expanding the River Derwent ferry network. The Commonwealth has already committed $20 million to terminals at Lindisfarne, Sandy Bay and Wilkinson's Point. They say if the state government gets on board, that expansion could be doubled to as far south as Kingston.
Our arterial roads are clogged every morning and night. Utilising the majestic River Derwent is an absolute no-brainer.
We know it's popular, we just need to take that next step and provide some additional terminals and additional services.
Labor says it makes more sense than a 5th lane on the southern outlet. The government said to consider the idea.
There's a process to go through and we understand that everybody wants ferry terminals.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania has gained some ground in the first ComSec State of the States report of 2024, rising from 6th to 5th in the rankings. But it's a far cry from previous years, which saw Tasmania ranked first in 12 of the past 16 surveys. ComSec says our state is leading the nation in equipment purchases, but lags behind other states in population growth. South Australia was ranked first for the first time in the survey's 14-year history. Launceston export Taran Thomas has fronted the AFL's integrity unit following a new allegation of inappropriate behaviour. The 23-year-old North Melbourne midfielder arrived at AFL House this afternoon. Thomas has not trained with the Roos since the new allegation was made earlier this month. He was stood down by North Melbourne in 2023 amid behavioural concerns towards women. A man has been taken into custody following a shooting at New Norfolk last night. Residents reported several gunshots fired near Benjamin Terrace at around 9:45. No one was injured. Tasmania Police say 2 separate properties were involved and that the occupants are known to each other. Social housing in northwest Tasmania has been given a boost with a new project being launched in Burnie. It comes as state Labor pursues the state government to shorten the public housing waiting list.
Giving older Tasmanians at risk of homelessness in Burnie a place to live. This new complex, built by the supported Affordable Accommodation Trust, officially launched today at Shorewell Park.
This house has been designed so it's suitable for both respite and for elderly people who have nowhere else to live.
It's partnering with Family Based Care Tasmania to operate the home. Statistics from Family Based Care reveal the number of older people finding themselves homeless is increasing.
They'll provide 4 permanent homes for those people, and where they can stay for as long as they need to, as long as they want to, while they're renting.
Homelessness is a large issue. A lot of it is hidden. You don't notice it until it's brought to your attention.
Critics say slashing the social housing waiting list is the right approach to solving the issue. The opposition says the government needs to get on top of it.
The government simply isn't doing enough to make sure that Tasmanians sleeping rough or are homeless are able to find accommodation that's safe and affordable.
The state government says it has done everything it can to bolster social housing numbers.
We've built 2,600 new social and affordable homes and brought them to market. 25% of building approvals last year were from the government.
The facility hopes to welcome its first residents in the coming weeks. Mark Zeta, 7 Tasmania News.
The Tasmanian Legal Aid Service is calling for a commitment from the federal government for a new home for the Federal Circuit and Family Court in Burnie. The service is concerned the North West will lose the court with no news about progress for a new location.
Many of Tasmania Legal Aid's clients are simply unable to get to Launceston or Hobart to access family law services.
What we're calling for is the federal government to stick up $15 million so that the Federal Family Law Court can have a home in the new court complex.
The Family Court in Launceston is providing services for North West clients as a temporary arrangement. Aurora Energy is confident the latest technology is helping families save money on their power bills. The company's rollout of advanced meters has reached a new milestone, with 70% of customers now hooked up to the new system. As power prices continue to hit struggling hip pockets, the company says the meters combined with the Aurora Plus app can help.
So that's where you're getting your...
It lets you look at your usage on a daily basis, control your usage, prevent bill shock.
You can keep a quick look on it. I look every Monday. It's my Monday morning check to see how the power's going.
The government is aiming to have all Tasmanians connected by 2026. Bike, kayak or unicycle, Bonang Wildlife Sanctuary is launching a wild ride, a fundraising drive with a difference. Charitable Tasmanians can use any method they choose to notch up kilometres and raise money. Pogo sticks and wheelbarrows among some of the early entries.
When it comes to Bonang's new fundraiser, anything goes.
This is the speed position.
But you don't need to ride fast or far or even ride at all. The only rule, the zanier the better.
It might be a feat of incredible endurance. It might just be something silly like only hopping on a pogo stick. Look, some of the rides already coming in are just hilarious.
The first ever wild ride will raise money for the sanctuary during March. Greg riding his tricked out trike 200 kilometres, while wildlife lover Sandra Davis is going to ride her scooter.
On the 18th of March, which is my 77th birthday, I want to ride 7 kilometres, finishing at Bonang.
Her husband Rob has found a way to get a round of golf in.
I play golf with a paraplegic who uses a support cart to play the game, and I'm going to experience what it's like to just depend on the top half of my body.
Bonang's employees are also getting involved around the sanctuary.
We've already come up with some really wild and wonderful ideas. So if you head to Bonang during the month of March, you'll be able to see the staff getting really active and involved.
The charity received 17,000 calls for help last year, hoping to raise $100,000 with this effort.
We're still a bit short for building our giant hospital, which is going to be built by August. So probably that's where the majority of the funds will go.
To get involved, visit wildride.au. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
One of the country's most acclaimed singers is preparing to put a new twist on her music here in Tasmania. ARIA Award winner Meg Washington has teamed up with the Tasmania Symphony Orchestra for a concert at West Point Casino. Both have worked together since October on arranging and rehearsing.
It's been great to hear some, the transformation that some of my songs have gone under, because some of them are like totally, they're totally, transformed.
Everyone's got their favourite songs. They're dying to hear what these arrangements look like and sound like.
The concert takes place tomorrow night.
The Jackies' Friday night loss to the Breakers has been softened by favourable results in other games. Still sitting in third place on the NBL ladder with very little separating the bottom 8 teams. The Breakers' finals hopes taking a blow, which is good news for Tasmania after a loss to the Hawks last night. Cairns also beaten by Adelaide. The precarious ladder situation makes Thursday's trip to Cairns an important one for the Jack Jumpers. The Taipans desperate for a win to have a shot at finals. The Jackies, though, have won their last 4 meetings. The Hockey Fives World Cup is underway in Oman, where Australia is currently trailing the pool standings after a draw with Trinidad and lost to New Zealand overnight. Launceston's Josh Commons doing his bit with a goal in each of the pool matches so far. They have a final chance to qualify for quarterfinals against Kenya tonight. At 1 win apiece so far, Australia's T20 International Series with South Africa will be decided at Blunston tomorrow night. Tasmanian Tiger Heather Graham has been proving her value to the national squad.
I think, she just gets better and better as an all-rounder. We know she's probably played last night as a bowler and was listed to bat 10, but we certainly know what she's capable of with the bat. And I think she's a genuine all-rounder that offers, a lot across all aspects of the game.
The coach isn't ruling out an appearance from fellow Tigers all-rounder Nicola Carey tomorrow either, despite turning down a national contract last year.
Good evening. Hobart 28 degrees today, Launceston and Burnie 24, a little cooler in Devonport. Now Friendly Beach is our top, 29 degrees, temperatures over the east up to 5 degrees above average. Bushy Park and St Helens 26, Grove 25, Flinders Island 23, King Island and Low Head 21 degrees and Strawn 19. Mostly cloudy conditions over the west as early cloud elsewhere cleared. Mount Reid, the top rainfall to 3 p.m, 8 millimetres. Cloud over Queensland contains embedded thunderstorms and not much else to look at apart from the convective cloud over the top end and eastern Western Australia. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure moves over Bass Strait with a weak frontal feature passing to the south later. The northern half of the country, of course, sitting under areas of low pressure. Northwest to southwest winds will increase to 20 to 30 knots over the south. Winds over the east and northeast gradually turning northerly late afternoon. Swells to 4 metres in southern waters. Strong wind warning for waters between Tasman Island and Low Rocky Point around the southern tip. Forecast tomorrow, 25 and sunny for Hobart, 22 the top for Adventure Bay. Tarraleah fine and sunny, 4 overnight, top of 22. 26 for Launceston and partly cloudy, 22 the high for Devonport. Sun over Bridport and 23 degrees. Burnie expecting 23 and a sunny day. A sunny day for Strawn, a possible shower later, 20 the top and 20 also the high for Marrawar. And along the east, partly cloudy. St Helens 25, 26 for Swansea, 24 the top for Whitemark. To Wednesday now, fine and partly cloudy, a shower over the west and possibly later over the northeast. Strong and gusty westerly winds back on Thursday as showers continue in the west, maybe reaching the south later. And on Friday, showers over the west and south easing, partly cloudy elsewhere, still quite windy in particular through Bass Strait. Sunny and 36 in Perth, a warm day for Adelaide, partly cloudy and 24 on the way for Melbourne tomorrow. A shower in Sydney, heavy falls of rain and a possible storm in Brisbane. And right now, sunny conditions over the population centres. Michael, I've got to say, Kim Miller's very trusting, allowing us, we three blokes, to take over the studio. Not too keen on that Nick Kelly, though. His hair's not grey enough.
No, I think he's got to work on that. I think he can do it. Well, that's all your news for now. I'll be back with updates a little later on. Thanks for joining us. Good night.